Have you ever heard a story that sounds like it's straight out of a movie, but it's actually real? Well, get ready, because today we're diving into the incredible true story of a boy with dreams so big they reached all the way to the stars. Let's jump in. Come on, who hasn't dreamed of building their own video game, right? Or maybe building a real rocket that actually flies to Mars? Sounds crazy. Well, the boy in our story, a kid named Elon Musk, had those exact same dreams. He was thinking about space and cool tech and how he could change the entire world. All right, so let's travel back in time. Our story kicks off in a place called South Africa. And this is where young Elon found a secret magical world. But it wasn't in a forest or a hidden cave. Nope, it was inside books. And when I say he loved to read, I mean he really loved to read. Like 8 or 9 hours every single day. That's like a whole school day plus homework time, just reading. He would just devour books, especially science fiction stories about awesome space adventures and futuristic inventions. And these stories weren't just fun. They were like planting little seeds in his brain, seeds of incredible ideas about what the future could be. So you see, that's where it all began. All those hours with his nose in a book started filling his head with these huge, exciting dreams. You know, in Chinese, the word for dream is 梦想, 梦想. And trust me, Elon's 梦想 were about to take him on one of the wildest adventures ever. Okay, so it didn't take long for Elon to decide that just dreaming wasn't enough. He wanted to build his dreams. And his very first tool for making that happen was this super cool brand new invention that was just starting to pop up everywhere. A computer. Get this, he was only 12, just 12 years old, and he taught himself how to write computer code. Can you believe that? He didn't have a teacher or a class. He just grabbed a book and figured it all out on his own. So what's the first thing you do when you learn to code? Well, if you're Elon, you make a video game. Of course, he mixed his two favorite things, space and computers, and created this awesome game called Blastar. The whole point was to destroy an alien spaceship, and he built the whole thing all by himself. And here's the craziest part. He didn't just keep the game for himself. He actually sold it to a computer magazine for $500. That's a ton of money for a 12-year-old. And right then, he learned the super important lesson. His ideas, the things inside his head, could become real stuff that other people would actually pay for. So fast forward a few years. Elon's now 17. And he just knew he had to be where all the biggest, most exciting new technology was being created. So he packed his bags and moved all the way to America, totally ready to build his next giant dream. His first company was called Zip2, and you can kind of think of it as an early, simple version of online maps. He and his brother worked, well, pretty much all the time, day and night. They were so dedicated, they didn't even have an apartment. They literally slept on a mattress in the office just so they could wake up and get right back to work. Now, that shows you something, right? He wasn't just a kid with cool ideas. He was willing to work like crazy for them. In Chinese, the phrase for work hard is 努力, 努力. And all that 努力 really paid off. After Zip2, he helped create something you've probably heard of, PayPal. It was like a magic digital wallet for the internet. But you know what? Even after all that success with computers and the internet, there was one dream that just wouldn't go away. That big childhood dream of space. He still wasn't satisfied just looking at the stars. He wanted to go to the stars, and he had one place in mind, Mars. So he started a company called SpaceX, and it had one single, absolutely giant goal: to make it possible for people to live on other planets. His big idea is that if we humans can live on more than one world, it makes our future way safer. And let's be honest, way more exciting. And how do you get to Mars? Well, you need a pretty special ride, a rocket. In Chinese, a rocket is a 火箭, 火箭. But here's the thing about building a 火箭. It's just about the hardest thing you can possibly try to do. And believe me, it was so hard. The very first rocket they launched, boom, it exploded. The second one, kaboom, exploded too. And the third one, it failed. By this point, he had only enough money for one last try. Can you even imagine how that must have felt? But he refused to give up. They launched that fourth rocket, and it worked. It soared right into space perfectly. It was a massive success. Wow, that right there is maybe the biggest lesson in this whole story. Never, ever give up. The Chinese word for give up is 放弃,放弃. And that's what he didn't do. Even when it seems like everything is blowing up in your face, literally, if your dream really matters to you, you just have to keep going. Okay, so at the same time his one company was trying to get us to another planet, he was also working with another company to help take care of our planet, Earth, and make it a healthier, cleaner home for all of us. He took charge of this company called Tesla. Now, you know how most cars use stinky gasoline that makes the air dirty? Well, Tesla cars are different. They run on clean electricity from batteries. So they're super fast, really quiet, and best of all, they help keep our air clean. Yeah, the mission was really simple. Help protect our amazing planet Earth. Or, as you'd say in Chinese, 地球,地球. He wanted to prove to everyone that you could have cars that are awesome and fun to drive, but that are also great for our 地球. And you think he'd stop there? No way! He also started another company called Neuralink. And this one sounds like it's straight out of one of those sci-fi books he used to read. They're working on tiny, tiny computer chips that could connect to our brains. The goal is to one day help people who can't walk or see to be able to do those things again. It's a huge idea, and he's actually trying to make it real. So let's just think about that for a second. Video games, digital money, rockets that land themselves, amazing electric cars, and computers for our brains. Wow. When you look at all of that, it all really boils down to two key things. And here's the main takeaway, the big lesson from his life. Elon truly believes that if something is super important, if you really think it will make the world better, you just have to go for it, even if it's really, really hard, even if you fail over and over again. So now I have a question for you. Just like that little boy who spent all day reading books and dreaming about space, what are your big dreams? What amazing things are you going to build? What problems are you going to solve? Because if this story teaches us anything, it's that a huge dream mixed with a whole lot of hard work can absolutely 100% change the world.
大家好，刚才我们一起听了埃隆·马斯克的精彩故事，现在我们要开始学习中文词汇和句字格。今天我们认识一位科技超级英雄，他叫埃隆·马斯克。他想要通过打计划来改变我们的世界。这一页我们要学习关于梦想和职业的词语。一起学习都中文。梦想，梦想，梦想。发明家，发明家，发明家。他有一个伟大的梦想。他有一个伟大的梦想。他是一位了不起的发明家。他是一位了不起的发明家。马斯克小时候是个超级书虫。他每天可以看书8到9个小时，这些书让他对未来充满了想象。让我们来看看这2个词，一起学习都中文。看书，看书，看书。未来，未来，未来。我喜欢看书，我喜欢看书。他思考未来，他思考未来。他12岁时就自学了电脑编程，还只做了一个太空小游戏。一起学习都中文。游戏，游戏，游戏。电脑，电脑，电脑。他只做了一款游戏，他只做了一款游戏。他用电脑编程，他用电脑编程。为了创业，马斯克工作非常努力，甚至直接睡在办公室的桌子下面。后来，他创造了像魔法钱包一样的网络支付工具。一起学习，都中文。努力，努力，努力。网络，网络，网络。他工作很努力，他工作很努力。我们用网络学习，我们用网络学习。马斯克创办了特斯拉，因为他想造出不产生黑烟的电动车。这些车非常聪明，就像长了眼睛一样，能自动行驶。一起学习都中文。 保护，保护，保护。汽车，汽车，汽车，保护我们的地球，保护我们的地球。这是一辆电动汽车，这是一辆电动汽车。马斯克造出了可以重复使用的火箭，他们飞上太空后还能想回旋，表一样安全地飞回地球。一起学习读中文。火箭，火箭，火箭，火星，火星，火星，火箭飞向太空，火箭飞向太空，他想去火星，他想去火星。造火箭非常难，他的前3次发射都爆炸失败了，但他坚持尝试了第4次，终于成功了。所以每次尝试都是成功的过程，不要害怕失败。一起学习都中文。失败，失败，失败，成功，成功，成功。失败并不可怕，失败并不可怕。他获得了成功，他获得了成功。他把成千上万个卫星送上天，为主在通讯不便的偏远的人们提供网络。他们看起来就像一串串发光的星星。一起学习读中文。星星，星星，星星。卫星，卫星，卫星。天上有星星，天上有星星。这是一颗卫星，这是一颗卫星。这一关非常神奇。马斯克发明了一种小小的大脑芯片，叫做 Neuralink。它可以帮助生病无法动弹的人，让他们仅仅依靠思考就能控制电脑。而且未来他的公司还会造出聪明的机器人，帮人类做一些危险或无聊的工作。一起学习都中文。大脑，大脑啊，大脑。思考，思考，思考。机器人，机器人，机器人。我们用大脑思考，我们用大脑思考。这是一个好帮手，这是一个好帮手。马斯克总是寻找更聪明的方法来解决大问题。他相信，只要不停地学习和实践，就能找到答案。我们一起都中文。聪明，聪明，聪明。学习，学习，学习。这是一个聪明的方法，这是一个聪明的方法。我喜欢学习新东西，我喜欢学习新东西。恭喜你通关，希望你能通过从马斯克的故事开启你的梦想之路，用你的方式让世界变得更美好。最后一起都中文。改变，改变，改变。世界，世界，世界。改变世界，改变世界。让世界更好，让世界更好。
Congratulations! You've cleared all the levels of our Elon Musk adventure. We've learned how he used his dreams and hard work to build rockets and electric cars. But remember, Elon isn't a superhero because he's perfect. He's a hero because he isn't afraid to fail. Now, it's time for a big idea challenge. Think like an inventor. If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Is it a robot that cleans the ocean? Or a school on the moon? Don't just think about the what, think about the how. Even if others say it's impossible, would you keep trying? That's what we call success.